Mike Lubitz with me. These coaches' press conferences where they come in to take over a job. The last time I saw this kind of enthusiasm, I don't know if you saw any of the clips of this Mike McIntyre. He takes over at FIU, a team that won one game last year. The last time I saw this much enthusiasm, I had accidentally tuned into an episode where they had an Up With People concert on TV. When the guy asked me if I had a living trust yet,
that's scary.
He didn't even ask me, when was my last visit.
When the doctor
looked at me and asked me if I had a will.
So your affairs in order?
Exactly what he said. He handed me Michael D. Wild's card. No, they were pushing a guy to get your will done.
Oh, God.
You think the guy's getting fed a little piece of the action back? Take a look at all the guys. Out. They send them straight to Moish or Schwartz. Get your affairs in order. Hey, Moish, come in the room too. Got another one.
The time. Wake up with Defo, joined by Lubie. Welcome to the Defo Show.
On a crisp and cool Thursday morning here in South Florida. Good morning, everybody. I'm Jeff Deforrest, along with one Mike Lubitz, and we welcome you to this sort of year-ending edition of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. And always great to be with you on the challenge. We're ready to accommodate some players and compete. And look at that. We have Santa himself with us here on the show. Well, we don't have as a polyman. I don't know if he's on the back of the sled there, Dave Gurgly, but Santa Claus himself appearing here on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. I hope that room is highly air-conditioned, or you might melt during the course of the program, although it was cool outside today. David, how are you, my friend?
Doing wonderful, thank you. Everything all right with you guys?
Yes, just fine, especially since
you can hear me.
That button and we lost the echo, which is absolutely fantastic. Here on Ion Channel, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, and going to be with you. We'll play one game. I don't know. We're getting some kind of weird feedback here. I don't know what it is.
The speaker's loud and it's feeding back into the microphone. That's
all right. Well, we'll see if we can deal with that. But a little technical snafu here at the beginning of the program, adding to the year-end confusion here on Ion Channel. Where are we at, Jack? Where are we at? Are we there? Did we make it yet? That's always the question. Jack and the lovely Amy coming through like champs for us here at the end of 2021 and giving us nothing but a promising springboard type of platform going into 2022. I know we're going to have to do something about that, Louis, because it's absolutely driving me crazy.
Speaker's loud.
What's that?
Turn his gurgles. You need to turn your speaker down. It's very loud. Feeding
My
back.
speaker.
No, you're fine. We were talking before. Gurgles is using the computer.
I just did.
Okay. And it's 1,000% better. Not great, but 1,000% better. All right, we'll see if we can deal with that. There's always some technical elements. The polyman Paul Massell, not with us today. He had yet another series of medical appointments that he had to attend. And hopefully one of those guys of the 7 doctors that he's seeing today will give him a thumbs up, some kind of a free pass, and move him into...
I'm not so sure about that. I saw the prescription. The doctors came from bashful, doc, grumpy, happy, sleepy, and sneezy. So I'm not sure.
That's not going to be good. Gurgles, how are you, my friend? I love the spirit with which you're conducting the show. That's fantastic. And props are always good on a video stream.
Doing great. We are busy at the golf course. I'll be here the next 4 days. We're open Christmas Day here at Shula's, and we've been quite busy, as a matter of fact. And I've got some little Christmas story before we start later on.
Well, no, I mean, we may as well get right into it because, we're all about the Christmas spirit here on the show. So,
this is
dynamite with coming up with these sort of things.
Well, next week we'll have some kind of New Year's poem. But right now, this is a heartwarming, although kind of almost tragic Christmas story. Bill woke up with a hangover, a killer hangover, after attending his firm's Christmas party. He didn't even remember how he got home. Confused, he tried to gather his thoughts. It's 8:30. What day is it? Thursday? The wife must have gone to work. As he struggled into consciousness through the fog of a pounding headache, his heart sank as he wondered what the heck happened last night. He forced himself to open his eyes. The first thing he saw was a couple of aspirins next to a glass of water on a side table. And next to him, a little vase of sweet peas freshly pickled from the gardens. He sat up. The bedroom was clean and tidy. There was no trail of drunkenly abandoned clothes, fresh air coming in through the window, and all was serene. He stumbled to the bathroom, which was also pristine, squinting gingerly into the mirror, saw that he had a black eye. This was not a good sign, but no memories were returning. And as he concentrated hard on getting the world into focus, he saw a little Post-it note in the corner of the mirror. It was written in red with little hearts on it and a kiss from his wife. I'll ring your office and I'll tell them you won't be in today. Breakfast is in the oven. Try to eat something and go back to bed in the morning. There's sports on TV in the afternoon. Take it easy. Hope your eye doesn't hurt too much. See you tonight. I love you, darling. Love, Allison. He stumbled to the kitchen. And sure enough, there was hot breakfast, steaming coffee, and the newspaper. His teenage son was waiting at the table eating. Bill, bracing himself for the worst, asked his son what happened the previous night. His son said, well, you came home at 3 a.m, drunk and out of control. You fell over the coffee table and broke it, and then you puked in the hallway. You got that black eye when you ran into the door. Bill was confused, and he asked, so why is everything such perfect order? Aspirin's by the bed, a nice note from Mom, and breakfast waiting for me? And his son replied, oh, that. Well, you see, Mom dragged you into the bedroom, and when she tried to take your trousers off, you screamed, leave me alone, I'm married.
Perfect way to kick off the program here.
Good Christmas ending.
All right, we're going to play one colossal game today of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. And don't forget about all the great holiday festivities going on at Hialeah Park, including this New Year's Eve dinner arrangement where you can get in there and for $55 have like a spectacular several course meal. And that includes everything, as they say, soup to nuts. And you can also enjoy all of the fine festivities and music. And we still need to get Gurgles to turn those speakers down because this is very compromising in terms of their ability to go ahead and focus on the show. It's getting massive feedback here as we're trying to conduct this thing. But Gurgles,
my speaker is as low as you can go.
Okay. Yeah, that's a lot better, actually. Whatever you did there, if you shut them off, that's fantastic. Because, the headphones, I guess, don't work with this Santa Claus getup. Is that the way that it works?
No.
All right, you can still hear us fine. I mean, we're having a little technical problem here at the beginning, but now it seems to be resolved. So we're going to continue without further mention of all of the difficulties that we're contending with here on ION Channel as we try to get the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge underway here, the special Christmas Eve edition. You can dial us up if you want to play the game. And we're going to have one colossal game. Lubie's got a Landlubbers gift certificate he's giving away, and that'll be good. That'll be a nice way to kick off the holiday season, or maybe intermittently between Christmas and New Year's, you drop into Landlubbers, get yourself some of those garlic Parmesan wings, which, and Alex Dufresne doesn't compromise over at Landlubbers. He's not serving those, what is it, penguin wings that they have now, or pigeon wings? Little tiny things, microscopic. And it's particularly ugly and very difficult to deal with. But Dufresne, he still has those giant rodent-sized wings, which are fantastic. And he hasn't juiced the price too heavily either. Are you all right there, Gurgles?
Yeah, I was just looking to see if I had some headphones.
That would help because I'm still getting, a considerable amount of feedback here. And, every other moment, all of a sudden, it's the Grand Canyon effect. Hello.
Well, I'm going to try it. You keep talking. I'll try on my end.
Okay. All right. See what we can do because it would be very, very helpful. It's great. But the one game is going to be conducted today, and you can call us at 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070 if you'd like to join us here. Now, you say you've been busy. People are out there golfing. What's going on in Gurgles' world these days?
I don't know if you can you hear me now?
Yes,
we can hear you fine. Yeah.
Okay, because I'm going to take this off and put the headphones on.
That might be a good idea. I don't know. I mean, the getup was a brilliant idea.
Great thought.
But if you can get rid of those speakers, that would be tremendous. It really would. Dave Gurgly trying to engineer on the fly here on ION Channel.
Now I can't hear you with the headphones.
All right. Well, do the best you can. I mean,
all right. They're coming out.
That's fine.
All right. See what
That's
you can do.
That's the best I can.
All right. Very good. So what have you been up to? I mean, what's going on? Craziness happening in your life?
Well, we just finished a Fallen Heroes tournament for the firefighters of Dade County. Big success here. We're gearing up for some kind of rebranding, actually. Miami Lake's name is going to be prominent in a lot of the different logos right now. Shula's legacy will still be with us, but something a little bit
Shula's
different.
name is off the
As
board.
we all know, change is good.
Yeah, they took his name. It's like they took the masking tape off the locker. Is that what happened?
No, that's going to stay there. No, we're not going to do that. No.
Okay.
All right, very good. So it's no longer Shula's?
Well, it's still Shula's. It'll when the change comes, you'll know.
All right, very good.
Let's leave it at that.
Classic logo there, Shula's. You still got those hamburger stands in Thailand, right?
Yep.
That was amazing. I mean, David Shula was telling us about the expansion of the Shula's hamburger chain there, and I guess it's a Shula burger. And
yeah, and
what does that go for, by the way?
Now.
What does a Shula burger go for, David?
Oh, geez, I don't know.
At the airport, it can't be
too
cheap.
tough of questions. The golf pro is out on 4-day vacation, so I'm in charge of everything in addition to doing this and making coffee. So bear with me.
Do you have a single? I got a single. It's always great. There's and now you golf much as a single? Because that was always a weird thing, especially if you shank your first shot.
Well, singles never have a right on the golf course. They just get paired with everybody else. And on this day, we'll probably do 200 golfers today, so it's going to be quite busy.
What's the standard? What's a normal number?
Normal number is probably between 120 and 150, but probably today, along with Black Friday, are probably two of the busiest days on the golf course.
All right, very good. So you're going to be running around and having.
Sorry, this is not exactly sterling monologue, but we'll make it work.
Yeah, you became much more subdued once you.
Well, I'm in charge of everything. I've got a pot of coffee brewing. The front desk person was late. The golf course is up and running, and the golf pro's on vacation until we hire another golf pro. I'm it.
All right. Well, we're gonna make it easy for you and try and just do the game up until about 8:00 and see if we can get the thing rolling right away. I have a trivia question for you. Andy kind of whiffed on this one. He got the more difficult names, but missed the obvious one. And we've been asking this question. I don't know if people were around when we gave out the answer, but there now are 5 guys with the addition of Buck Showalter to be manager of the New York Mets. Once he was named manager of the New York Mets, 5 men have managed both the Yankees and the Mets.
Okay.
Can you name
I
the other 4?
I know a couple of them.
Yeah,
I can name Yogi Berra.
Yogi Berra, good one. That's the one Andy missed.
Dallas Green.
That was a tough one. Yeah, Dallas Green.
Yeah, because he's an ex-Philly pitcher.
And the other 2 are fairly obvious.
Yes.
Original Mets manager. Casey
it's certainly not Wes Westrom. No.
Casey Stengel, of course, and
Casey Stengel, the original one. Yep.
Joe Torre was
the others.
Joe Torre.
So Joe Torre.
Dallas
okay.
Green. You got the tough one. Dallas Green was a tough one to come up with, right? Because you think of Dallas Green as a Philadelphia manager, don't you? Not necessarily Yankees and Mets. So that was good. And I did a little research on this. The winningest Mets manager percentage-wise all time for anyone that, what wasn't in there for like maybe some pitching coach managed the Mets for like one game and won it, like Cookie Rojas. Remember, he was the winningest percentage.
How about Davey
Johnson? Davey
Johnson?
Johnson is right up there, very high on the list. In fact, it is Davey Johnson, 588. Are you looking at the same list I am?
I am not. but how about the first player to play for all 4 teams that at one time were based in New York?
First player, Duke
Even
Snider.
though they weren't based there when he played.
Was it the Duke? No.
How about Darryl Strawberry?
Darryl Strawberry.
1 week with the Giants. Dodgers, Yankees, Mets, and Giants.
Oh, okay. That was a little bit of a tricky question because, you're thinking, wait a minute, 4 teams in New York? Was he with the Highlanders?
That were originally based in New York.
Oh, very nice. Darryl Strawberry. Good question, Gurgles. Is that one of the questions today?
No.
All right, we're going to dive into game number 1 and our only game today because we're going to let Gurgles off the hook at about 8:00 this morning, and then we'll conduct our usual fanfare. Mike Lubitz, of course, is engineering everything, and he'll be taking your telephone calls here on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, and you can dial us up at 954-417-0070. 954-417-0070. If you get a busy signal because we're a little bit technically challenged here still in the early stages of unfolding this thing on Ion Channel. Hey, are we going to get some more phone lines? I think we will, but we're kind of working with one line here on our remote location for the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. And so if you get a busy signal, just keep calling. Just keep calling. When you hear somebody's on the line, you know it's busy. And as soon as they hang up, you can dive into the game here. I know a lot of our regular players want to get involved and maybe pick up a late Christmas item, a stocking stuffer, from landlubbers by winning the game. And that's a great way to finish out the year, isn't it, Gurgles? I mean, you're a track guy. Did you also have Silent Night in the nightcap on Christmas Eve that one year? I had to be like 30 years ago at Calder Racecourse. Remember that? Silent Night was the last race.
I did not. I did not. But I do have, as one of my questions, the last jockey to win a race at Calder on Christmas Day.
The last jockey to win a race. Gene the Dream St. Leon.
This is one of the questions for the show. Now, you're not eligible for the landlubber.
Did I get it with Gene the Dream? I love that guy. He had like 1,000 wins at Calder.
He was one of the selections, as Paulie Man would say.
Kind of the poor man's Chris McCarron, Gene the Dream St. Leon. Is that a fair assessment?
That is, yeah.
He was good, man. He was good back in the day. Gene the Dream, very reliable on those 3 to 5 shots. And, the only guy who was able to beat him consistently was the Paulie Man when he was a jockey agent there for Harvey Puckett. Incredible.
That was another choice. Yep, all right.
All right, we're going to get into the game. Don't forget, Hialeah Park, big celebration. Are you doing anything New Year's Eve? Maybe we should all go down to Hialeah Park and take advantage of that $55 dinner.
That's a great idea. It's right around the corner from me.
You know how festive it is at Hialeah Park, and you can gamble. I would imagine, are there any, Western Canadian harness tracks open on Christmas Eve? Can you punch?
No, I think what you can do is you can get something in Australia, but it doesn't go on until like 9 o'clock, I think, at night.
You were the master when it first was bettable here in South Florida. I think Dania Hialeah started out with Australia A and Australia B. Yeah, you were big on Australia B. Australia A, ice cold. It was kind of like Aqueduct versus
that's
Belmont.
Exactly right. Yep, but, and I was saving all my money for Australia C. Never materialized.
Kyle has a great story about how they were post-race betting at Dania Hialeah, and he got in on it, where you knew what the winner of the race was, and because of the time being a little bit out of sync, one of the tellers there was telling him, hey, you could punch away up until about 20 seconds after the race, so you wait by the window there. As soon as they cross the wire, you put 100 on the 6, so it doesn't look too obvious that you had something going on, because those guys got caught with the post-race punching on the trifecta scheme. Remember, they were doing that at the old Flagler dog track. And
that's right.
Trivia question for you: the guy that decoded that and got to the bottom of that whole thing and busted all of those tellers was the same guy who did the investigation on Pete Rose for Major League Baseball.
No kidding.
Named John Dowd. Yeah, John Dowd was
the Dowd report. Yep.
South Florida investigative cop of some sort, or a private investigator. And so he was the guy that got to the bottom of the thing and said, hey, you know what these guys are doing? They're all punching up trifecta tickets after the race. There was a little time glitch there with the two computer systems, and they were able to punch in on the backup system and cash a healthy amount of tickets. They
Speaking
still
of that,
time, those guys? Yeah. Oh, you've got some parimutuel tickets.
This is Paulie Man's Christmas present. You ready?
Yeah. A book called "Please Hold All Tickets."
That's apropos for Paulie.
Camera there. Very nice.
I have one for you too.
Yes, you're always great with these books, Dave Gurgles. The 365 stupidest things ever said.
Yes.
How many times am I on that list?
5.
All right, dial us up if you want to play. You can go ahead and get in, and whoever's first online there is going to be first up, obviously, even with the random phone scrambler. 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. Having a good time with you as we're going to be sailing out the door here on Ion Channel. Have a lot of special things cooked up for the holidays and the upcoming holiday week. Do you get much done the interim week between Christmas and New Year's?
Yes. Yes, and it's mostly work. I'm in charge of all the renewals here at the golf course. And New Year's Eve, I used to work at Shula's Steak too with a tuxedo and bring in the new year. In the last 5 years, I have a nice bottle of scotch, sit on my balcony with a Perdomo cigar, and just go through my phone and call everybody I haven't talked to in the last year.
Nice.
Retirement is serving you well, Dave.
Sounds like he's working.
He's only working 80 hours a week, and that's retirement. Yeah, that's like old age.
I have one for Lubie and his lovely wife. Friday morning, 9:45 after the show, turn on Turner Movie Classics and watch a movie called Pocket Full of Miracles.
Okay.
Betty Davis and Glenn Ford. Don't miss it.
All right, Pocket Full of Miracles. Seldom have I had that experience. I considered that when, when a horse got DQ'd. And I realized 2 races later that I actually had a ticket going the other way.
I'm full of losing tickets.
All right, the Trivia Challenge. They're going to get underway here. Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. We got to put up the Hialeah Park background there, Mike Lubitz also. And just remind people that Hialeah Park is a spectacular place to celebrate all of the holidays, including Christmas Eve, Christmas Day. You can punch away. They're winning jackpot after jackpot at Hialeah Park. And that New Year's Eve bash is going to be fantastic. And that's just a prelude to great things that are going to be happening at Hialeah Park in 2022, including the boxing, which I'm hoping Gurgles gets out there. And,
I will. I loved it last time.
See all these rising Cuban stars that are going to be showcased in this event. And I say showcased, but they're also going to be challenged because Leon Margulies, Louis de Cubas wouldn't have it any other way. We got to find out if these guys can really fight, if they're championship material. We don't want them in there against a bunch of stiffs and bag ladies. Forget about that. So you're going to see some great, exciting, and scintillating boxing action. There's nothing like kicking off the new year in that fashion. No better place to do it than at Hialeah Park. I put Hialeah Park right up there with my favorite boxing venues. It's absolutely great in terms of atmosphere and producing results and just feeling great about going to a boxing match and then having plenty to do afterwards, right? You don't have to tip over the tables, the dice tables at the MGM Grand. You just cruise right into, after a bum decision, cruise right into the casino there and have yourself a great time playing a little Royal Reels and some of the other fine games that they feature there. All right, we're coming back with more of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Game 1 on tap. Jump on board. 954-417-070. Mike Lubitz, Dave Gurgling. I'm Jeff Deforrest here on Ion Channel, ionchannel.com. Just Google the Defo Show. I did it yesterday, actually, Lubie. The show's not bad. I never watch or listen to anything I've ever done. And I cringe every time I do.
You hear me?
But,
no?
Yes, so we hear you just fine, Dave.
We hear you fine.
You sound good.
I can't.
Yeah.
Go ahead. Oh.
All of a sudden you froze.
It's been fun.
Yeah.
It's just a good time.
Interesting opening here to what could be our last show. Jack, it's been fun.
Never know.
I'm getting a coffee. I'll be back.
Mary,
Enjoy
we're
the
run out, sell a bunch of advertising. Next thing you know, we're up the creek without a paddle. All right. Coming back in just a moment with Game 1 of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. That echo is almost impossible, but I've gotten so used to it. It's so horrendous that I'm used to it now, so I'm able to plow through it here. That's a real pro. Last boxing match I called, I was working with kind of a small production company, and it was taking place at the Hard Rock. This was before they had built the new Hard Rock Arena, and they were holding these boxing matches in kind of a smaller place. But there's often confusion sometimes through the communications network that is set up by any kind of production. Sometimes, you're doing announcing and you're hearing the director making the technical calls. I said, camera three. And your tendency, if you're doing any kind of announcing, is to say immediately whatever it is that the person said in your ear.
Yes.
So if the person said, for example, I don't want to, it's happened where the person said, you keep saying that, you can go fuck yourself. And so, you're calling a match, and you're like, oh, look at that. Jones throws a right hand, and he's basically telling so-and-so to go fuck himself. And you're like, wait a minute. This is like national over-the-air network television. But it happens, right? It's a big distraction. You know how that goes, Lubie, right? Somebody starts talking to you while you're talking.
I deal with it a little better than you do. You're not a fan of it, but it gets annoying if they're incessant. It's like, no.
Shut the fuck up. Incessant chant, right? Like, where guys are giving you time. Because 2 minutes, I said 2 minutes. So anyway, I'm doing this boxing broadcast, and the entire time, not only was it very difficult to hear yourself, but on top of that, they were sending me the Spanish feed, which was coming from the next booth. So I heard these two guys chirping in Spanish the entire time. And what are you going to do? I mean, you gotta just keep going. There's no alternative. All right, we're coming back with more, and we'll start out the game of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge with Dave Gurgling. It's a bit of a mess there at Shula's, where Gurgles is coming from, but we'll start game number 1 in just a moment. Now that
the time,
it's 7:25. Play the ponies in style with outstanding simulcast against beautiful Hialeah Park.
Lubie, I'm going to try one more time.
The Lady of Thoroughbred Racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style. And you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time. When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not, because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
Hey, it's Mike Mayo for Even Keel Fish Shack, corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard at Lauderdale by the Sea. It's my favorite place now for great seafood in a casual beachfront setting. They've got happy hour 4 to 7 Monday through Friday. They've got great dishes like grilled oysters and oysters on the half shell, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, octopus. They also have burgers and chicken for those who don't like the seafood. They're open 7 days a week for a lunch, dinner, and weekend brunch. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack. Go say hi to Dave and Brad and tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you.
Recently realized it's not just hurricane season that can hurt us. Any time of year, things can happen to your home or business. And the insurance company can be your friend, but they also can be your enemy. Verizon Public Adjusters, Justina Testa, are here for you to help this process go so much easier. Before you call the insurance company, call Verizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa at 954-809-8752. Would you go into court without an attorney? Why would you go up against an insurance company without Verizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa? 7 to 10 times more money recovered with a public adjuster than if you went on your own. If there's no recovery, there's no fee. Give them a call at 954-809-8752. Why go up against insurance companies alone? You can have Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa on your side.
Buy or lease its house and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen.
You know what I'm gonna do? Because you don't ever give me a face shake. You know that? So I'm gonna go and let you talk to Victor Ortiz, all right? I'm through. They put somebody else up and give me an interview. Talk to Victor Ortiz. You heard him. You never give me a face shake. HBO needs to fire you. You don't know about boxing. You ain't you not.
I wish I was 50 years younger and I'd kick your ass.
The modern day odd couple, Defo and Lubie, are on now. It is, of course, the Defo Show.
Well, once again, everybody, a bit of a mess here, but we're doing the best we can to navigate our way through it. The Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge, as I do believe most of the problem is being generated by whatever speaker system Dave Gurgly is operating on there at Shula's Golf Course, but he's doing the best he can. Mike Lubitz is here. He's punching all kinds of buttons, trying to straighten things out, but I'm not sure there is much that we can do. All right, we're going to go ahead and get the game started here. In the tradition, and Andy has said that this is a 25-year South Florida tradition, which it is, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. And we can't thank the people at Hialeah Park enough. It was a great year there all throughout this past year, and only figures to get better and better. So we're going to looking very much forward to being at Hialeah Park in 2022, doing all kinds of things there. And we should do some kind of special on the boxing event that's taking place as well. Maybe we can have a night at the fights with Dave Gurgly. We might even be able to get the Polyman out there, although he's scheduled to go 4 rounds in one of the prelims because no matter what kind of shape he's in and what kind of medical negativity he gets from his various doctor's visits today, he says, I'll be ready to go. Right? They call me champ for a reason. All right, here we go. Dave Gurgles Gurgley, and let's see. We will start the game in the traditional fashion, somewhat traditional, with the Echo, the Polyman, and some
easy baseball. This journeyman minor leaguer, on reminiscing about his marriage to his first wife, said, "You know, I was married by a judge. I should have asked for a jury." What's that? Rocky Bridges, Bo Bridges, Lloyd Bridges, or Marshall Bridges?
All right, we're going to spin the scrambler. And lo and behold, it lands squarely on Lenny. Lenny the Chronic. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, fellas. Good morning.
Thanks for calling in. Merry Christmas, Lenny.
Thank you, guys.
Were you ever cast as Santa Claus at any time in either a school play or?
I've been known to be a jolly fellow. Yes, indeed.
All right, very good. Because you know, you would think the office party, right? Would Lenny not be the natural choice to be Santa?
Yeah, except that they'd have to widen the chimney a bit, I think.
Coming in through the back door like he always does. All right, you have 1 point, Lenny. You're in the game.
All right, Lenny, hoops. Believe it or not, 7-foot Wilt Chamberlain, who also played professional volleyball, actually played 1 year in the Bing Crosby Pebble Beach Open Pro-Am, and they paired him, of course, with diminutive 5'7" Gary Player. True or false?
I gotta say false.
That is false. Yeah,
yes, false. I would think you made that up. I thought you were going to have one like Danny DeVito.
I got a Christmas joke for you. How
All right,
much
let's hear it.
to pay to park a sleigh?
How much?
Nothing. It's on the house.
Very good. Very good.
Very good. I had no stand-up comedy coming in the future for Lenny. That's for sure.
Nah, that's for me.
Well, we're trying to make millions with this show, and you're coming up. No, it was great, Lenny. Good joke. All right, 2 for 2, going for 5.
All right, Lenny. Most of my questions now are all Christmas themed, like this one.
Ooh.
Believe it or not, this team was from the 1920s to 1971. The NHL played a game on Christmas Day every Christmas, and then they stopped it in 71. Who won the last ever Christmas Day hockey game until they stopped it in 1971? Was it
a good one?
The Detroit Red Wings, the Golden Seals, the LA Kings, or the Chicago Blackhawks?
Go with the Red Wings.
No, it was the Golden Seals, 3-1 over the LA Kings, a West Coast game.
Wow.
Relatively new teams at that point, too. Would they come into the league in like 68 or something? Yeah. All right, very good, Lenny. Going for 7 points here. Obviously, this would give you the lead in our Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge holiday game.
Okay, let's take you back to another Christmas game, 1985 New York Knicks. Patrick Ewing, a rookie, scored 32 points, grabbed 11 rebounds as the Knicks came back from a 25-point deficit to defeat who in double overtime?
The Sixers.
Wow.
Sixers. You got it. Oh, no.
It was the Celtics. They beat the Celtics 113 to 104. Wait for the choices, Lenny.
Don't go too far away, Lenny. I mean, he felt he had it, and he jumped in. I respect that move. It's kind of like John Harbaugh going for 2 in every game and ending up 0-17, even though he was within 1 point in every ball game that the Ravens played this year. All right, you can dial us up if you want to play. We'll play as many as we can. Gurgle's going to be with us. In fact, we'll have an abridged edition of the game here, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. So if you get in quickly, you might find your way into the finals. 954-417-0070, 954-417-0070. Don't forget, once again, Hialeah Park, very festive for the holidays. Check the calendar of events going on at HialeahPark.com. Great idea for office parties or anything like that. I don't know if it's too late to book, but they do things on the fly down there at Hialeah Park, right? Give Dennis Testa a call and you say, hey, we need the flamingos flying. No problem. Boom. He's right there in the golf cart, and off they go. That's the kind of way they accommodate people at Hialeah Park. You're going to love it. The casino has been hopping. I saw jackpot after jackpot being taken down, and all you have to do is go online to HialeahPark.com, get all the details on the holiday festivities and the special dinners, including a big New Year's Eve celebration. You're going to want to be a part of it. Makes it real easy to navigate your way on Thanksgiving, on New Year's Eve, as you'll have the time of your life at Hialeah Park, tapping away to the DJ and having all kinds of great food and drink, and of course the opportunity to go ahead and get into the casino there and get into action. All right, we're going to play another player here, Gurgles, because of the technical difficulties. It is a little bit of, as they say, a clusterfuck here for us trying to conduct this thing in this fashion, especially with the Grand Canyon effect, which is my favorite effect in all the broadcasting.
And what I don't understand is this is the exact same way we did it last week, and there was no issues.
Went off without a hitch. Yeah.
Why this didn't happen last time?
But,
actually, so
all of a sudden, and
I blame it on Lubie.
Now, as you said that, though, it cleared up completely, like almost 100%.
Beautiful. Okay.
All right, so let's go right into it. The next set of questions, and then we'll decide a championship. And Lenny's going to be involved, and as it should be. And this next gentleman gets a chance to play the game. So go ahead and fire off that first question.
Okay, football. This former Notre Dame coach, on the spirit of giving at Christmas, said, I asked my wife what she wanted for Christmas. She said, nothing would make me happier than a diamond necklace. So I bought her nothing. I like that one. So was that Lou Holtz, Lou Costello, Elvis Costello, or Larry Costello?
The Scrambler, Mike Lubitz, please. All right, this is an old classic here, and he does many characters and only one voice. We welcome.
Exactly. He has many characters but one voice.
We welcome Drazen to the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Good morning, Drazen.
Yes, I'd like to say, everybody up there in heaven that play basketball, we all listen to your show now that it's on the internet. The best show in the universe.
Drazen Petrovic, of course, one of the great shooters of all time in NBA history. All right, very good, Drazen. Good to have a celebrity here on the Christmas celebration show. You have 1 point and you're in the game. And whatever you did, Gurgles, it worked because the thing is like pristine and crystal clear now.
Beautiful, and I think it's your fault. Okay, football, true or false?
I saw Lubie scrambling and punching buttons, and then he realized, oh, shit, I forgot to hit this one. And now
the double overtime game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Miami Dolphins on Christmas Day in the early 70s took 3 hours and 21 minutes to play. Believe it or not, the NFL got so many complaints from people about the length of that day wrecking Christmas that they didn't schedule another Christmas Day game until 1989. True or false?
False.
He says false.
No, it's true.
Wow.
It's true. They got so many complaints, they waited 18 years for another game.
Schedule.
Can I change my answer now? I say true.
Unfortunately, you only get one shot at the 50-50 proposition bets here on the show. All right, there's a 3-point question for you, Petrovich.
All right, NBA Hoops. 57 years ago today, December 24th, that would be tomorrow, actually, the 1960 Boston Celtics pulled down an unbelievable 109 rebounds in a game. And it came versus...
Ooh.
I wanted to get Lubie while he was having his coffee.
Yeah.
Was it the New York Knicks, the Cincinnati Royals, the Detroit Pistons, or the San Francisco Warriors?
Hey, they didn't broadcast this in Croatia. I go with the Knicks. The Knicks.
No, it was the Detroit Pistons. They beat 150 to 106.
Very good. All right, going for 6 points here. If you get this one right,
he hasn't got anything.
All right, here we go.
You got the first.
If I can give you a different one than that.
Yeah.
All right. How about this one? We talked about hockey on Christmas Day. These hockey fans were so sad when they eliminated the Christmas Day game because their team from 1928 to 1950 went 24, 11, and 2 on Christmas Day. What's that? The Boston Bruins, the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Red Wings, or the New York Rangers?
Come on, we don't play no hockey.
Isn't it a big deal there?
I go with the Detroit Lions.
Detroit Lions.
The Lions are there.
No, it was the New York Giants / Rangers. The New York Rangers.
Very good. You bombed out, Drazen, but that's not going to eliminate you from this competition, which has been a mess right from the start here, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Those guys are great. They have everything in order, and that's why they can throw a great party like they will on New Year's Eve at Hialeah Park. But, wow. All right, so are we equipped to conduct the finals? I know, Lubie, you had a new system here. Can we get both guys on it
we can arrange
at the same time? All right, so we're going to try and do that.
Because I've always been into cigars, but, holidays just feel like a Perdomo moment.
Yeah, Perdomo cigars. I mean, what a great idea for a gift, Gurgles.
Yes, Perdomo cigars will be open this week, a little bit limited hours tomorrow, Christmas Eve. Thank you, Mike, for bringing that up. And I spoke to Nick and Janine and Nick Jr. Their daughter had a little baby, so they have a new grandbaby for Christmas, but they don't raise prices. They still make perfect cigars, one at a time. Cuban Seed Tobacco, 5150 Northwest 167th Street on the Palmetto on the south side, a little bit east of the Home Depot, Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Christmas Eve, they'll probably close a little early, but get in there, get a great cigar. Say hello to Nick. He's as jolly as you want to be, and he is the real Nick at Nick Cigars. 305-627-6700. And Sunday is a dear day to you, Jeff. You know what Sunday is? December 26th?
Let's see. They open up Santa Anita.
That's right. And I've got
a the day after Christmas
on a sprint race in the grass on that day. It's I think it's called G's Gisela. Ran on Breeders' Cup Day, a mile, had to lead halfway, and he's going to be going 6.5 on the turf at Santa Anita. Look for him. I may be making a small wager on him myself, and with some Christmas money that I'm hoping I'm getting from Lubie and Jeff and all the guys. But whatever. If not, I'll scrape something out.
You'll be making a mind bet on that one, Dave.
Anyway,
they had a great ad.
Your mouth with a cigar from Perdomo Cigars.
The opening of the Santa Anita meet, they had a great ad, which was, they would have this big gift box on the television screen, and the question would pop up, what opens the day after Christmas? And then the ribbon would come off, unravel, the wrapping would come off, the box would open up, and it just evolved into horses leaving the gate at Santa Anita with the bell ringing and taking off from behind. Wow, fantastic ad, right? Made you want to go out there. Of course, it didn't take much to motivate me to get to the track any day of my life. All right, we're set for the finals here, and we're going to see if we can pull this off. We have Lenny, and we have Drazen, a.k.a. Andy, who, by the way, was using that same voice on that chick he was trying to scam at the Funky Biscuit on Friday night when he was out there with a first-time starter. And obviously came across as a man of great taste and intrigue because he was going to see a tremendous show, which the common musical fan probably wouldn't even think of. They'd be more likely to show up at Molly Hatchet. But this was great. And yet using that same voice, he was able to get over on this poor, unsuspecting female, Andy, competing as Drazen. All right, here's how it works, guys. You know the deal. Call out your name if you want to answer. Gurgles has the question. Here we go.
All right, guys, as I brought this up early in the show, the last Christmas Day race at Calder was won by a $12,500 claimer named, appropriately enough, Not Soon Enough. And that was ridden by...
Ooh. All right, here are the choices.
Right. Was it Gene St. Leon?
That's my pick.
George Hosang, W.G. De Oliveira, or Robert Gaffleone?
You love W.G.
I'll let Lenny go first.
Drazen, are you there?
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Andy. I'll take D, the last one.
It was not Tyler's. Was that Tyler's dad or uncle, Robert Gaffleone? I'm not sure.
That's his grandfather.
His grandfather.
There was
okay.
Steve
well,
Gaffleone was Robert Gaffleone's son, and then Tyler Gaffleone is Steve's son, grandfather.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 generations.
Right. So 3 left for Drazen. Was it Gene St. Leon, George Hosang, or W.G. De Oliveira?
I need to win because I'm tired of paying Lenny scalping charges for Ram Rubbers and he's got 20. He's cornered the market, like the Hunt brothers on.
Hey, come tonight, Andy. Come tonight.
I'll go with me.
Hey, he's going with Gene the Dream.
Gene St. Leon, a great rider, one of the all-time winners, but that is wrong. Wow. It's up to Lenny now.
Lenny, two
Lenny,
left.
was it George Hozang or W.G. de Oliveira?
Let's go with B, the second one, the first one.
The first one, Hosang.
George Hosang is correct.
Yeah,
Don't talk yourself
that's
out
the
of the
one.
win.
Very nice.
It's that, Drazen.
There you go. You got another gift certificate coming to Landlubbers, Lenny. Sufreen is going to be thrilled. Hey, who won this week on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge? Lenny the Chronic. Very good. I wonder if he's even.
I wish
does he
Lenny
report
and
that on-
all of our listeners a Merry Christmas and a healthy and happy New Year.
Yeah. Does he report that on his profit and loss statement?
I don't know. He wins a lot.
Sufreen, when Lenny shows up with like 400 gift certificates. Gurgles, you have a good one. It was a little bit of a technical nightmare on our end, but you did a fine job, and we certainly appreciate you coming out here and doing all of this while administrating everything that's going on at Chula's Golf Course, where they're lined up early today, are they not? Are they wearing sweatshirts?
Yes.
What's
Oh,
the
yeah.
deal?
When I came here at 6:15, there was already people ready in the parking lot with headlights on, ready to play. And Mike, you and your lovely bride enjoy a great holiday, too. And maybe next week we'll be in the studio, maybe?
We'll figure
There's always an outside chance of that, yeah. I don't know where Jack stands on this stuff anymore. I really don't.
All right, no worries.
Very
We'll make it work.
curious texts. All right.
Maybe I can get Paulie to drive here and do the show with me right here.
We'll figure it out.
That would work. It would be a lot easier if we could just teach the Polyman how to turn on a computer.
Get his email.
Which there's like an on-off button that he hasn't quite figured out yet. Yeah.
Well,
Once he gets
I
past
think
that, though, I think it's a piece of cake.
His screensaver is a picture of Vito going like this.
Exactly.
10 o'clock Monday. Those were his most
Cheers,
feared
guys.
words. Yeah. All right. Thanks so much, Dave Gurgles Gurgly. Getting in there and carrying a bulk of what we were doing here on the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. All right. We're still going to be very much oriented towards talking about Hialeah Park here and many other things as we'll open things up and do our regular. I don't know. Do you have any trivia questions you want to fire out there? You're not really a trivia guy. For a guy that conducts trivia contests, Lubie, you don't retain any of these questions from the various questions you ask?
The professor, as you say, does the heavy lifting, and I hold the microphone. I've learned from you.
Professor's questions are particularly challenging, though. They really are.
Difficult.
Almost impossible, yeah.
He doesn't realize, it's not like he's making them difficult on purpose. For him, they're easy. So it's hard for him to comprehend that they're difficult. I'm like, dude, no one knows the Russian liaison from the 1940s. Like, no one knows that. Like, I don't know what to tell you. People don't know that.
Doc Blanchard, man. That would be my answer to everything. Doc Blanchard. You're never wrong. I mean, once in a while, you're going to win a trivia contest by just howling out after every question. Doc Blanchard. Hey, there's no question where a great place to be for New Year's Eve is going to be. That's Hialeah Park. It's going to be dynamite over there. I mean, the $55 dinner, that's essentially, going someplace for like $5 and getting an incredible meal, and that's a nice way to kind of end 2021. I don't know. I had a pretty good year in 2021, I would have to say, because I'm still here in 2022, or at least on track to be here in 2022, both here on Ion Channel and in general in life itself. At least I hope so. I mean, the last medical report, even though the guy told me to go ahead and get a will in place, still it was, I don't know what he saw on some of those, whatever it was that they were doing, some body scans that, indicated to him that even though I was in perfect health now, I may not make it to 2022. And the look he gave me when he told me, get your will in order. But what a perfect place to celebrate the end of 2021, whether it was a good or bad year or just mediocre, another routine year, same old stuff. And getting into 2022 with a lot of optimism and enthusiasm, because I do believe, Lubie, no matter how it comes about. And I'm not sure about that anymore.
I don't either, but I agree with you.
I hate to think this, and but we're very transparent here on the show. Whatever we're thinking, whatever we're feeling, that's what we're all about here. Right now, very happy to be on Ion Channel, but it's going to be our year, Lubie, because I think we figured this thing out finally. I really do.
Land on our feet. We're in
the right ballpark. As Leslie Visser said, did you ever think at 70 that all of the things that you've been doing your entire career would, that everybody, was like, what are you doing? Gambling? Are you kidding me? Would suddenly become in vogue, and you would be right in the middle of what should be just an absolute, windfall of capital and, catapulting into some kind of degenerate fame. which will be great. So looking very much forward to it. Going to work hard for you wherever we are in 2022. And hopefully wherever you are, everything will be prosperous. And you guys will have a good time. In the meantime, I don't know. I did it, Lubie. I went out yesterday. I bought something for the Mustang.
Oh, thank God. Oh, Jesus.
I was hoping she wouldn't discover it beforehand. Does that take some of the impetus out of the gift giving or some of the impact? Let's say this way, the impetus is there, which is and the ladies in the store that I went to, that they all said the same thing, because they were asking me what brought me there, and I said because you should never believe her when she says I don't want anything for Christmas or any other occasion.
100%.
Valentine's Day, all of that stuff.
You always give something.
Yeah, yep. And there were about 6 or 7 other women in the shop there. And they all turned and said, "You're absolutely right."
Okay.
So it was a unanimous decision there that this was the right move. But so I think that kind of got me off the hook.
Yes.
For Christmas, I believe. I don't know if they discover it in advance, though. Does that take the impact away? Do you have to go out and fire up another gift?
Well, they want to know. That's what's weird to me is like Shirley would like hunt around for stuff, and I'm like, why would you want to know the gift?
What if she finds it and just says, "Hey, what is this piece of garbage I found in your closet?"
And it depends on how married you are. If you've been married,
then you take it back.
For a long
right?
time. You just
receipt? No, I don't have any receipt.
If you're newly married, then you go, "Oh yeah, I don't know what that is," and then you go buy her new gift. I mean,
if you want to thrill her though for New Year's Eve, Hialeah Park be the place to go, man. Take her out dancing, having a good time. Let her punch away on the casino, slot machines, and all of the other Vegas style games that they have there, including I see guys making big scores on roulette, that electronic roulette thing, where it's the actual wheel and everything, and it's like really really cool. The way they do it, and it's a stupid law anyway. I mean, why are we splitting hairs about whether roulette is going to bring about and spark more evil in society than say slot machines, for example? It's just cockamamie. Let's hope in 2022 that the legislation in Tallahassee finally comes to grips with the idea that people want to gamble, they want to have a good time. These casinos that have been operating, obviously, they did so for many years under arduous conditions there at Hialeah Park just to keep the place alive. And then it came around. John Brunetti Sr. had the brilliant vision. Hey, I'm going to open up a casino. Everybody laughed. And sure enough, it took them about 5 years to get the thing intact. But let's not put all kinds of restraints on this. I mean, what is the point? Right? I mean, why would roulette or craps be any more of a game that was inclined to lead you to poverty and depravity?
Exactly.
Than say blackjack, which they do have at the Native American casinos here in town, and even they're fighting with their own guy DeSantis to see if they can't get this sports gambling going. So let's hope it all gets straightened out in 2022. Hialeah is going to be a great destination for whatever it is that you want to do, including punching away like we like to do on the horses there at the Champion Simulcasting Room. Check it out. The HialeahPark.com website has all the details on the New Year's Eve celebration that's going on there. And I believe something special also, maybe something of a similar nature happening for Christmas as well. And they just have all kinds of festive things planned for the holidays at beautiful Hialeah Park. All right, we're going to come back with more here on Ion Channel, the Defo Show. I'm Jeff Deforrest. He is Mike Lubitz, the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. A little bit of a technical difficulty incurred there during the part with Gurgles, so we decided just to move on and bring you whatever we can as kind of a year-ending thought process here on the Defo Show. So I don't know. Do we want to do that? Too many people died. I think we stay away from that, right? Could get really, really morbid. I mean, you could blow taps for the next hour and 10 minutes here or whatever it is on the show, Lubie, and we still couldn't cover all the ground that needed to be covered in that category.
Oh, this is best. Wait, have you seen this? I want to put on so people can read it, but this is Big Possum. This is the best ever.
Where you been, Big Possum? We hadn't heard from him for a couple of weeks. Well,
I'm assuming it's holiday week.
Yeah.
His wife found the gift, opened it, didn't like it, exchanged it, and rewrapped it. I love that. That feels so much like my wife. Like
that is classic. Yeah, I probably will need a cut man after I deliver this. Does she give you the look like, you cheap bastard? That's it?
Yes. Oh, Shirley would for sure do that.
Oh man, that would be ugly. All right, a lot of different stories in that regard, but it was a unanimous decision. I mean, we didn't need Adelaide Bird to be bribed by Don King to come up with this one. A unanimous decision. All of the women that were in this particular shop at the time, they looked at me, and that's not a bad feeling for a guy. I mean, not that I was looking for this, but where you feel a certain sense of, wow, there's a real gentleman. I mean, imagine women. I felt that they were thinking that very briefly. I mean, just for a split second before, I don't know that they realized what they were thinking.
Exactly.
But you could tell, that they were happy that there was a guy out there that was doing this in spite of, the sort of mandate that don't buy me anything because we just spent all this money on this house, which I didn't realize how much it was until I looked in the bank account yesterday.
You're always on it.
That's that derisive Spanish whistle, Mexican whistle. When a fighter was, not doing anything in the ring, they would start whistling. Which translated into verbiage essentially means do something very ugly.
Yeah,
to,
what are you doing?
That's very special. Rhymes with duck and other. All right. Can you imagine a whistle means that, right? A whistle. That would be a big thing at boxing matches in L.A. Because the action would have slowed to a crawl there, and you were thinking, wow, I mean, I wish these guys would pick it up. Somebody throw a punch. Kind of like watching those Mayweather fights at $100 a pop. His last 14 matches, including that one that was alluded to by the great Larry Merchant. Larry was great. I mean, was Larry, he was kind of a shot fighter for like 30
for a
years.
while.
But you know what? He was brilliant, Larry Merchant. He really was. He was a great writer back in the day. I mean, people only know him from those brain-dead pronouncements as he was the color analyst there. And even Lampley would look at Merchant and go, Larry, I mean, what have you been smoking? Two Fighters at a Crossroads was my favorite introduction, though. And I almost found myself saying that. You know how you have something in your head?
Or you make fun of something enough, you end up taking it down.
I think Al Bernstein threw it to me one time on one of those pay-per-view broadcasts at the Hard Rock. And he said, so, Jeff, what do you think? I mean, what do we have here with these two guys? And I started out by saying, two fighters at a crossroads. Right? They're crossing paths. One's on his way up. One's on his way down.
Yes.
The classic matchup there, the promoters dream of, right? Where the shot fighter has been Cinderella Man himself, James J. Braddock, is going in there before he's gotten himself back together and taking on some young hotshot who happens to be 31-0 with 30 knockouts. All right, so anyway, I don't think I'm going to get knocked out of the box, though. I did get that. And there was a certain feeling of joy generated by the fact that I thought these women respected me for like a brief second.
Well, usually the one running in, totally forgetting the day before. So the fact that you already know the right answer and are just asking to be smart and safe is a different thing. So I'm proud of you. Good for you.
I think it was the right move to make.
Yeah,
and I thank my friend Shirley for turning me on to this thing.
Nice.
And it seems like, I don't know. I mean, it wouldn't be something that I would necessarily be inclined to buy for my, this type of thing. But a very useful piece of merchandise for the woman who has everything, the Mustang.
Nice.
All right. So I think I'm off the hook there, but I don't know. She didn't find it, though. I had it in the car, and hopefully she's, I can't imagine she's up this early listening to the show.
No, she's not.
She's a big fan of Gurgles, though, and a polymath, so she might be inclined to listen to the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. And I don't know that anybody loves Hialeah as much as the Mustang.
I'm sure.
No, really. I mentioned that we're going to Hialeah and Hialeah Park for any occasion, like the last one where we went down there for this Larry Little thing. I didn't even get to eat. She dragged me down into the casino. She loves playing the machines there. So what was I going to tell Frank Fiore? I mean, hey, Frankie, I'm about to disappear because I know we're not coming back up here. So thank you very much for the invitation. And I'm sorry that they bailed out the side door. But we did help to handle there at Hialeah Park, which is great because they've been helping us out for a long time by supporting all of our shows. And we have the deepest amount of gratitude and respect for all the people there. And that's been going on for a long time, Lubie. You know what? 40 years I've been here. 40 years Hialeah Park has been solidly behind everything I've done. I can't thank the Brunetti family enough for their wonderful support. I mean that in my deepest sincerity because it is nice to know, right? It's kind of like that feeling, that very brief feeling when all the women turned and said, you're doing the right thing, kid. I was the only guy not wearing a mask in the store. There were only about 6 people in there. Do you feel funny in that situation?
I've been wearing the mask still. I never stopped, actually. Indoors.
Yeah, but you're more of a hypochondriac, paranoid Jew than I am.
I never was. I am now. I don't want to get the thing.
You know, it's weird. I'll probably be sick tomorrow there and all through the holidays, but I don't think I've been sick a day since COVID broke out.
Exactly.
Not one day. Like I didn't even, nothing, not even a sniffle. It's amazing. All right. Is that because we're wearing masks and washing our hands? Because I have been slack on that. I do have the triple shots there. So Joe Biden just, cooling on that. I did it. Is he aging rapidly? He was already old when he got the job there as president of the United States. How did this happen, man?
He's just old, and he's not old. He's just consistently.
They blame this guy for everything, man. It's amazing. He kind of inherited a mess, right? It's like Brian Flores.
He did. He's done a good job.
Inherited a mess.
With good comes bad. I mean, it is what it is. It's the job.
All right. Let's keep it going here, and hopefully everybody will have a marvelous 2022 and a great Christmas celebration also.
Yes.
All right, we're coming back, and we'll take you up until 9 o'clock here on Ion Channel. I'm Jeff Deforrest. He's Mike Lubitz. In all sincerity, too, our thanks to Jack Namer, man. I mean, this guy is a visionary, you would have to say, right? And Amy, I think, really is the heart and soul of this thing.
Yes, they all do a great job.
Very happy about that, right? Because I believe she digs the creativity. I really do. And a big sports fan, which helps a lot, right? I mean, if they know what you're talking about.
That helps, yes.
Maybe it's better if they don't. And Brad Schiller, man, this cat, right? Very low key for a guy that is a Mr. Fix-It MacGyver type. Is he not? But you see him, you can see the mind working, and you can smell the smoke coming out of his brain as, he's saying, oh, you know what? I can make this look even better.
Exactly.
Great guy, too. Okay, so thank you, people at Ion Channel. And we are looking forward to big things in 2022 in all sincerity. And that's going to be a lot of fun. I mean, I hope it goes and skyrockets right to the top. So we'll come back with more. We'll take you up until 9 o'clock today. We'll do a little kibitzing here on this hour of the program. Yes, some business. Our Believe podcast today, John Feinstein.
Yes.
Going to be our special guest.
Check it out.
You can't do a bad Feinstein interview. It's impossible.
Oh, he's great. And now there's a lot of crap. We haven't talked to him about urban. So that's why I was like, we got to finish the year. He's great on talking about the real stuff and having fun at the same time.
It is true, though. I mean, all you have to do to anybody that's in this business right now is just say, Urban Meyer. And immediately after the belly laugh stops, I mean, like a sincere and genuine belly laugh. Right? It just triggers laughter at this point. Urban Meyer.
Yes.
People didn't make enough out of the disgrace that Ohio State conducted when they made him a professor emeritus or whatever that is, hemorrhoitis, of teaching class and dignity.
No, it was
Are you kidding me?
Integrity and character, I think, was the class.
Integrity and character.
Of him.
The two things that this guy was the polar opposite of, his entire career. Probably going back to when he was, paying, co-eds to sleep with. I don't know what he was doing at Bowling Green, for God's sake.
Yes.
And sure enough, I mean, that was what Ohio State rewarded him with after he had this spousal abuser on his staff, knowing, and he was friends with both the husband and the wife, but because he owed some debt to some fabled old coach that was his mentor, and this was like his, nephew or something. He kept him on the staff there for years and years. Unbelievable. And condone that. And this is a guy teaching what? Ethics and character?
Yes, it was. No, I think it was integrity and character. Literally.
And character.
That was like the two things that he's never had, ever.
I'm going to ask Feinstein on that Believe podcast if he ever considered auditing that course. I know he's well-educated, went to Duke and everything, and I was on the swim team, by the way. But anyway, you can catch that later on. That's Believe Podcast Network, BLEAV. It's spelt in kind of a weird fashion, but nonetheless, you can find that. It's After Hours with Defo and Lubie. So we still have hours to do here, though, on the Ion Channel. We're not done yet, so we're coming back with more. I'm Jeff Deforrest. He is Mike Lubitz as we zero in on Christmas Eve. I'm curious to see how you're going to spend that, Mike. Oh, I know what you're going to do.
You're the family, I mean.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. Are you going to be in a car on Christmas Eve?
That's Sunday. The day after
okay.
We do that.
You don't take off until after the weekend? Okay, that gives you plenty of time to reconsider.
No, I'm freaking out.
All right, back with more in a moment. Now that.
Literally freaking out.
The time.
And Merry Christmas also to all of our friends, Deal Volkswagen and the team down there. They do a tremendous job, and it's going to be big. The inventory was coming in a little bit slowly there by their standards, of course. I mean, it was just at a snail's pace, at a crawl.
Yep.
And so as soon as they got cars, they were going out the door. So 2022, I think you're going to see some kind of change there. Yeah. Didn't they open up all of the ports now? I saw Biden on TV
yesterday. It's supposed to be getting corrected, yeah.
Very good. Okay, Lou, bring it on in. How come all my guys that I do my asides to are named Lou? You ever wonder about that, Lubie?
Vinny.
Destination Sport Miami, too. The whole team there. They do a great job, and we're looking forward to them getting closer and closer to completion and seeing a lot of things solidify there. Destination Sport Miami in the Doral area, the largest indoor, multifaceted sports facility anywhere in North America. Will be right here in our hometown, and they're going to have all kinds of dynamite programs going on. Great people leading them. Destination Sport Miami. All right, he's Mike Lubitz. I'm Jeff Deforrest. Coming back with more in a moment here on ION Channel, IONchannel.com. Audio, video streaming around the world. Very proud of what we've done there in the first couple of months, and back with more in a moment. Now that.
The time.
It's 8:06. Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
These days, we're all looking for comfort anywhere we can find it. Thank goodness for Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill in the Plantation location, because they are making sure you are as comfortable as possible. First of all, they're not only open for delivery and pickup. All you have to do is go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both pickup and free delivery. Their hours have changed a little bit. Monday through Thursday from 3:30 to 10, and Friday, Saturday, and Sunday from 11:30 to 10. You're going to have the best wings in the world. You're going to have a great burger. You're going to have their amazing soups. Again, Landlubbers Raw Bar and Grill. It's nice and easy. Just go to landlubbersbarandgrill.com for both your pickup and free delivery. Thank goodness for Landlubbers for making you always feel right at home.
Play the ponies in style at Champions, the outstanding simulcasting room at beautiful Hialeah Park. Yes, the grand old lady of thoroughbred racing has never been more vibrant, and you can wager on the races from the top tracks around the country while enjoying a cocktail at the Brass Rail Bar or any of the fine food served throughout the facility. If poker is your game, you're covered in style, and you can play all your favorite Vegas-style games, including blackjack, craps, and roulette in Hialeah Park's sizzling hot casino. Get a player's card when you walk through the door for all kinds of generous amenities, including our favorite, free play, when you come out to the ultimate casino and entertainment destination, Hialeah Park.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time? When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not. Because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
Recently, we realized it's not just hurricane season that can hurt us. Any time of year, things can happen to your home or business. And the insurance company can be your friend, but they also can be your enemy. Horizon Public Adjusters, Justina Testa, are here for you to help this process go so much easier. Before you call your insurance company, call Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa at 954-809-8752. Would you go into court without an attorney? So why would you go up against an insurance company without Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa? 7 to 10 times more money recovered with a public adjuster than if you went on your own. If there's no recovery, there's no fee. Give them a call at 954-809-8752. Why go up against insurance companies alone when you can have Horizon Public Adjusters and Justina Testa on your side?
Hey, it's Mike Mayo, the Gambling Gourmet here for my friends over at Shenanigans Sports Pub It's a great place to go to take in a game, a good meal, and a couple of drinks. My friend Patrick, he's been doing it a long time, and he's got 2 locations. West Side is right across from TY Park in Hollywood. And then the East Side location is at 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. Shenanigans is the place for wings, burgers, barbecue, fresh fish, anything you want, drink specials, late night dining, outdoor dining. It is the place to go, family friendly. Go to Shenanigans and tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you.
Las Vegas, Nevada, where Saturday night, this man will challenge Deontay Wilder for the heavyweight championship of the world. We present the Gypsy King, Tyson Fury. From the looks of things, new trainer, new methods. It does look like you're in the best shape of your life. Why the changes, especially since you looked so good against Deontay Wilder the first time?
You know, I've come a different approach to this fight this time. Last time, we didn't get the decision we was looking for, ended up a draw. So this time we've changed things up a bit. We're going to switch the gears and we're going to knock him out this time to make sure we get the right decision this time. So I had the trainer last time. He was good. He didn't do anything wrong. We just needed a bit of more offense. So we brought in a more attacking trainer this time rather than defensive. So yeah, it should be a different fight completely.
The best way to kick off your day is with Defo plus Lubie. We now return to the Defo Show.
Welcome back to the show. It's the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Thanks to Dave Gurgles Gurgley. We had to kind of hustle out of that segment with the quiz show as we were getting some technical problems that were starting to interfere very badly with what we were trying to accomplish there. And then Gurgles had to go also.
Yes. Well, and I want to make sure we get to our handicappers a little bit.
Yes.
We're not having a Degenerate Friday. We have to give them, the people what they want, as they say. The huge.
How about this, too? Last week's show. Mark Lawrence, 4-0. He's going to join us. We know that for certain at about 8:40 this morning. Mark Lawrence, 4-0. Cashed every game that he gave you last week. And then the professor giving out 6 college games.
Yeah.
Goes 4-2. Yeah. So a combined 8-2 here on the show. I don't know too many shows that are doing that even straight up, much less against the spread and largely with underdogs. The professor goes with what he feels. He's not afraid to lay points if he believes that it's a reasonable number.
Yes.
And yet Mark Lawrence, at least for this show, I don't know if he's ever bet a favorite. I would imagine at some point in time you would have to think that, that line is badly out of whack. This team should be favored by many more points than that. And that would be the gauge. I mean, if you're a good handicapper, the rule of thumb would be, the most basic fundamental would be set your own line in your head. Like, what would you call this game? If you think this is a 3-point game and then all of a sudden the line comes out at 5, well, then you know which side to go with because in your own opinion, you saw this, as if you're taking the 5 points, you saw this as a very generous allotment, right? Because you thought they should only be getting 3.
Yes.
And, so that would be a general fundamental. I would think a very basic thing, and whatever the public feels, that's one thing. And, I would say an even more favorable principle and profitable one to go with. And this is Gambling 101 with Jeff Deforrest and Mike Lubitz. Two giant tenets of all degeneracy would be whatever the public thinks, don't believe them, go the other way, be the one lone wolf that says, you know what? I think Navy can beat Army in the classic Army-Navy game. Speaking of John Feinstein, who wrote a book about the Army-Navy game, which be hard to come. He obviously sees things with a much more, wide open perspective than most people do, right? Because you're thinking it's an ugly game even if I bet it.
Yes.
And he has painted this Picasso-like picture of it being, just an abstract thing of beauty. And with our, steeped in tradition of everything that the United States and honor and integrity, speaking of Urban Meyer, is all about. So anyway, the professor picking college games 4-2. So and hopefully we'll connect with him here on the show because we want to give you some steam, some ammunition for the remainder of the bowl season. And of course, the pro card is also wide open for Mark Lawrence, who that's a dynamite job, right? Going 4-0 on the show here, picking all dogs.
Yes.
All underdogs. It's sugar though. The lines are way out of whack. I was only getting 7 the other night in the Rams game, only getting 7 with Seattle, and they lost by 10, but I think the line went off 10. So,
okay.
There it is again with Francesco in the Jewish Journal.
You lose those 3 points.
But what? I mean, really, what is he reading? The line in Hebrew? I mean, what the hell is that?
You're the one that lets him.
When did you become a moil, Francesco? That's my buddy that I bet with for the unfamiliar. And, how does he get these lines where you're off by 3 points? Only Tony Segreto and the guy that I'm betting with could possibly come up with this. And I don't have any argument with it. And if I dispute one of the lines, he calls me a cheap schmuck. Unbelievable. And makes, references to certain religious ties
really?
That I have as a family. Yes.
Oh, my God. Are you kidding me?
I don't want to say what it is because I can only get jackpots there. And we don't want Ion Channel getting sued at the end of the year. Did you hear what your guy said about the Jews?
We're good.
No, that's what he was saying about me, and it's a common stereotype. Let's face it, Lubie. They say the same thing about Canadians. We say it liberally, and you know what? In this case, I think it's a fair label.
It's true.
As long as we don't specify what it is that we're talking about, I think we're okay in this category. I don't know that it matters anymore. Does it matter, Lubie? People have their numbers taken down for, look, they're tearing down statues of Kate Smith, for God's sake. Kate Smith. The Philadelphia Flyers, an iconic figure in Philadelphia Flyer history and folklore. Kate Smith, she was kind of a rotund singer, appeared a lot on the variety shows of her day, right? Ed Sullivan. And it was always a big thing. My dad was a fan of Kate Smith. She could belt out a tune, Lubie, belt it out, and was a famous singer. But apparently she had made some in the 20s, like when people were walking around with like blackface and things like that. And
yeah,
so this is what was going on at the time. I don't know. They made her out to be Marge Schott. They didn't really do that much about Marge Schott until it got to be overwhelmingly obnoxious when she did an interview with a swastika flag in the back. Come on, Marge. You own the Cincinnati Reds right here in the U.S. of A. Some people, you really have to wonder. I don't know. How did baseball put up with that? I mean, they're supposed to be, always about honor and integrity. Speaking of Urban Meyer,
baseball puts up with a lot.
Yeah, Marge Schott was, the owner, and she had Shotzi the dog there. Yes, even he was like in some kind of German soldier salute, and they would give him a biscuit every time he said Sieg Heil. I mean, come on, that's your dog, Marge.
He barked at only Jewish people.
Some rabbi walks in.
He lost it.
Oh, God. All right, so last night, another dog prevails. Missouri gets the nod, getting 6 on a hook with Army in, what bowl was that? The Armed Forces Bowl. So Army wins the Armed Forces Bowl, which I think is appropriate.
I'd hope they'd be able to do that.
I mean, like 20 years from now, they're going to have the January 6th bowl game, the Insurrection Bowl. How weird is that going to be? Texas A&M, by the way, had to drop out of its bowl game.
Yes.
Texas A&M was targeted for and ticketed for the Gator Bowl, which where's the Gator Bowl take place? Orlando? That sounds like
Jacksonville.
Oh, Jacksonville. Okay. Yeah. Oh, that's right. Okay, the Gator Bowl in Jacksonville, and so the people of Jacksonville are going to have less reason to attend this game because they get Rutgers instead. Rutgers.
Well, what's interesting is Rutgers was under 500, and the teams that are under 500 were not in bowls, right? So they're not practicing, and this is in the Christmas break since last week in college. So the kids went home. So that's why, people are like, well, put Florida State in, but no, these kids haven't been practicing. They aren't even at school. So now they
Greg Schiano doesn't care.
How does that work?
He'll drive straight into Patterson and ask the first 50 guys he sees hanging out on the street corners there if they want to play a game. How'd you like to be a part of a university?
What do you mean? Did you hear this thing about the playoffs? If you can't play, you forfeit.
Yes.
Every playoff team is just putting their kids in rooms and locked rooms because you can't leave right now. If you leave your house and go somewhere, you magically get COVID. Everyone has COVID. It's
never seen anything like it, right? The entire Jets coaching staff also out with COVID. It's literally disease helter skelter out there with the Omicron variant of COVID-19. I can't believe it's at this level because we were so happy after sports returned. And even with nobody in the stands, it was kind of weird, watching games. And I'm sure it was equally strange for the players to be involved in them. trying to get that emotional spark that you naturally get if you're playing in front of a home crowd, and or any crowd for that matter, right? I mean, you get stimulated when the people are really into what you're doing. It's this whole collective high that we're trying to achieve there. And anyway, none of that was there the first go round, and then you're kind of happy. I thought maybe it was a little overdone when you saw especially those crowds in the deep South, where people are not afraid to slobber all over their sister. I mean, it's just unbelievable. In fact, they came to the game with their sister as their date in many of these cases, right? Virginia Tech. But, and you thought, wow, this can't be good. I bought a set of football cards for 2022. I decided to get into collecting them after throwing my entire, which would have been an invaluable collection away as a kid. How many Carl Yastrzemski rookie cards you got? I think I had 20. Because, we used to gamble with cards, so it wasn't uncommon to collect a lot of one particular card. And I don't know, imagine we were flipping Carl Yastrzemski rookie cards against the wall there. They're probably worth a dime a piece now in decent condition. And, and who knew? We hated the rookie cards and we hated the checklist. Those became the most valuable cards.
Oh, yes. That's what's funny. When you were like, yeah, we always throw away the rookie. I'm like, what? I'm like,
rookie
every
cards,
other card sucked. The rookie was the only one you wanted.
Yeah. You were hoping to get a very stale piece of gum and Mickey Mantle by some miracle. I mean, this was an early version. The Topps people were onto something, huh? You think they're running the various Powerball lotteries that are going on around the country?
Exactly.
Because you would just keep buying packs and packs and packs of these cards, and you would end up with 400 Harry Cheaties.
Yes. You would always get the same 5 guys.
You're thinking, who the fuck is Harry Cheaty?
It would always be 5 guys, and it's I've never seen him.
As much of a baseball fan as I was as a kid, I mean, some of these cards. Eli Gerber was one I had in plentiful supply. Eli Gerber, Grba. He was a reliever. I believe, didn't he do a stint, Eli Gerber, with the Yankees? Eli Gerber. Harvey would know that.
I was going to say no.
But anyway, so I open up this 2022 set. Now, you're not supposed to open them, so naturally, the first thing I do is open them.
Oh, so wait. So you're not even supposed to open them? I understand that to be in good condition. You can't even look at the cards you have?
No, they stay in a box. That's what makes them more valuable. Well, I got a complete set here. I've never opened it.
How do you know you have?
What kind of foolishness is this?
How do you know who you have in? Okay.
Well, you would have the full set. I mean, you're counting on the company as having some kind of character and integrity, having taken the Urban Meyer course by the same name. And, you're figuring they put the full set of cards in there. That's great. So I open it up, right? There's a checklist right away. So I fire that in a garbage can. Yeah. And the next card up is Dr. Fauci. He has his own NFL card. Got a little Washington football team helmet on, WFT. Doesn't it seem like a wrestling organization when you see that? When people hold up the flags in the stands there for what was a Redskins game, and now it just says WFT.
Yep.
I'll have to run that by Feinstein. I think he'll dig that one. Right? And you're thinking, wow, a new wrestling organization. I wonder who they have starring. What has been have they brought back from Guatemala, to headline the cards. All right, we're going to come back with more. Mark Lawrence is going to join us here, and Mark was 4-0 last week. That's great. He's got some college and pro picks for you here on the show. And let's face it, I mean, even though you can get lost in the spirit of the holiday weekend, it's always a good time to gamble.
Yes.
Send that to FanDuel and DraftKings.
It's always a good time to gamble.
It's over, Jack. We're going to be making $1 zillion. Don't worry about a thing, kid. Don't worry about a thing. All right, we're going to come back with more here on Ion Channel. It's always great being here on Ion Channel, and very, very happy to have this affiliation association so we can bring all of this to you, including Mark Lawrence, on what is a hybrid edition of the Hialeah Park Trivia Challenge. Don't forget, once again, people, Hialeah Park, great place to go. We love it. You walk into the grounds there, you really feel like you went through some kind of vital transformation.
Yes.
The old John McLaughlin and the Mahavishnu Orchestra tune that still sticks with me, the title, right? The music was a bit abstract, I would have to say, but nonetheless, you convince yourself that you're digging it and that you get the message there because it's a subliminal and beautiful transcendental message. And that's how you feel when you go to Hialeah Park, right? It's like meeting the Maharishi right there by the citation statue. Just absolutely phenomenal feeling. Walk in there, you feel great. I love punching in the champion simulcasting room. I'd be inclined to kind of hope there was some racing going on, maybe at Mohawk West or whatever that is. I think Oh, it's Woodbine West. They did the thing. They stole it from Mike Nyman, this marketing ploy, where you don't want to admit that you're betting some shithole track. Oh, but I mean, if they're running, I'm betting it. I don't care. In Hialeah Park, they understand where we're coming from with this. They bring you everything, right? You don't have to go searching all. Oh, by the way, are you running? The races there. From Maryland today. Oh yeah, of course. We've got everything going. No, they always do. They do a great job in the champion simulcasting room. It's a great place to punch away. And there's going to be a lot of great racing going on over the weekend in the daytime as well. Going on out there for their holiday dinner plans. Going to be fantastic. And log on to HialeahPark.com. You'll see all about it. And don't forget, I hope to see everybody at the boxing that's coming up in January. I'm very excited about this.
They put on. I've been to other boxing shows now at places and stadiums and arenas. Nothing is like at Hialeah, man. Frankie and his people put on such a show, such a good time.
Yeah, I mean, I still try to keep up with the sport. I'm probably not as well-versed in it as I was maybe 15, 20 years ago when I was consumed by it and absolutely loved being a part of anything that had to do with boxing. I still love it. Still get that same great feeling. And when you walk into a great boxing atmosphere for a live event, it's just different. It's almost like you can hear the people in the grandstand, 60,000 strong.
Yep. Well, those that are watching, we've now lost Defo. It's been a very technically fun show. We will, I presume, get Defo back shortly. And you will have, and there he is. He is
a great handicapping insight for you, as we seem to be getting a little Wi-Fi hit here or whatever's going on. And I am here. I can assure you. I'm still talking about Hialeah Park.
I know you did it through it.
I think I made the point. Great place to go. I love it. I really do. I absolutely love Hialeah Park.
Well, the people are really good too.
Fantastic. Anytime you're there, you always have a good time. All right, back with more in a moment. Now that.
The time.
Date 27.
It's the Gambling Gourmet for Cafe Seville in Fort Lauderdale. It's one of my favorite places. It is old school joint that's serving Spanish and classic continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly setting. It's at 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. They're open every day except Sunday for dinner, starting at 5 p.m. You go in there, you see Joey and his better half Sally. They are given the greatest in service. And the food, oh my gosh, it's paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, stuffed veal chop. They serve this great, fantastic, warm sourdough bread. Go to Cafe Seville in Fort Lauderdale and tell them that the Gambling Gourmet sent you.
Hey, folks, Tony Segreto here. What if I told you you could go to a great restaurant, feel completely safe because their COVID protocol is unmatched, have an amazing meal, have a great time. When the bill comes, you won't get sticker shock. You're going to say, that's too good to be true. No, it's not, because I'm talking about Texas Roadhouse. Great family atmosphere, great atmosphere for a couple, great atmosphere if you just want to go by yourself and watch a game and have the coldest beer in town. And while you're doing that, have the best bread in town. All at Texas Roadhouse. Everything you get there is fresh every day and made sure it's served at your table, hot and ready to go. And the best part is you don't get sticker shock because the prices are amazing. Texas Roadhouse.
Destination Sport Miami is here to revolutionize the sports landscape in South Florida. The largest indoor multifaceted sports complex in North America is on the way, with distinguished leaders of its various sports programs and unparalleled access to the finest indoor training fields and facilities. Destination Sport Miami will set South Florida apart as the destination of choice for elite athletic training and development, and for its dedication to youth programs and sports on all levels. A phenomenal concept and a powerful undertaking, Destination Sport Miami will also be an important commodity in the sports business community as well. Destination Sport Miami, its time has come.
Since day one of Old School, we've had Catholic Health Services be part of our family. They are recognized as the quintessential rehab facility in the Southeast for strokes, but it goes well beyond strokes because Catholic Health Services is in the community of South Florida to help the community stay healthy. And if they're not healthy, get them healthy and get them back on their feet quicker than they could have ever expected. They do it every single day. It's step and repeat 24/7. Catholic Health Services.
Buy or lease a house and take it to the house at Deal Volkswagen. Anna and her team make your next VW purchase or lease so easy with new inventory rolling in daily and the biggest selection of certified pre-owned vehicles in the business. You can make your deal online at dealvolkswagen.com or visit the beautiful showroom in the classic location, 3601 Bird Road, right in the heart of the Gables. Or give Anna and the team at Deal a call at 305-448-DEEL. Jettas, Passats, Tiguans, Atlas models, and the hottest vehicle in the industry, the new Taos, all at unbeatable prices and all ready to roll off the showroom floor at the #1 Volkswagen dealership around, Deal Volkswagen. We welcome to the show Matt Hardy, part of the Hardy Boys tag team, 14-time World Tag Team Champions. A lot of people have tried it, though, but few have had the kind of success that you and your brother Jeff had. You have a big pay-per-view coming up, Double or Nothing, on Saturday.
Oh, it's going to be incredible. And myself, I'm going to be taking part in a first-time ever match. It's a match called the Stadium Stampede, and it's going to pit myself, Broken Matt Hardy, teaming up with the Elite, the Young Bucks, Hangman Page, Kenny Omega, and we'll be taking on Chris Jericho and his team of underlings, the Inner Circle. And our wrestling ring is the entire stadium of the Jacksonville Jaguars. You can fight anywhere in the building, on top of the stadium, inside the stadium, on the goalpost, pinfalls count anywhere. It's going to be the most wild match you've ever seen.
How do you train for something like that?
I've been jumping off ladders and going through tables all day.
Enjoy your trip to work with lots of laughs thanks to Defo and Lubie. Now on the Defo Show.
I would have to say, and I don't know that you would have agreed with me before you got started with this professional relationship that we have, Mike Lubitz, and this goes back like 11 years now, 11 plus, 11 and a hook. As we started out on my birthday in what would have been, 2010.
2010.
Yeah.
LeBron signed.
So we're talking about, yeah, that's right. I had to run down to the arena there for that special occasion, and that was where LeBron said he was going to win. I mean, they really stuck it to him on that. Not 1, not 2, not 3.
He said like 9, though.
What is he going to say?
What
What person hasn't come on the scene and just absolutely overstated any possible realistic goals that they might achieve with whatever team? I mean, that McIntyre guy that took over at FIU. Can you believe this guy? I mean, and I'm all for it, right? Why not be as enthusiastic as you can be as the ship is sinking?
Everything's fine.
You're on the Titanic, and what was the guy in that string quartet saying to his partners there? They're playing this funeral music, essentially, as everybody's jumping into the freezing water, and there are only 2 lifeboats. I mean, it's lavish design for a ship, and the guy said, why don't we put a couple of lifeboats on there just to accommodate and appease the authorities? Who knew they were going to crash into an iceberg, right? Like off the Straits of whatever.
Exactly.
Off the Straits of Impossible. And the guy says to the other guys in the band there in the movie, I don't know, I mean, do you think this realistically happened? Obviously this was a somewhat fictional account of what was a very real event. And the guy looks at the other, guys in the band and says, I have to say, it was a pleasure playing with you gentlemen. Because he knows he's going down. Going down. Just, absolutely insane. And let's hope that you're not going down coming up over the weekend. And that's why we're going to have Mark Lawrence here on the program. Mark Lawrence, 4-0 last week. That's great. Now, he got banged around a week before a little bit, in all fairness.
Yes.
Because we're very transparent here. I don't know that we're completely accountable if you have like a season record, Mike Lubitz. Mm-hmm. But Lawrence is having a really good year, as is the professor here predicting games.
It's funny. So Ken, and he actually made a good point, and I give Lawrence credit. Ken's like, I mean, I'm down to come on, but like with all this COVID shit, what's the point?
Yeah. And
I'm like, hey, you're not wrong. Because first of all, who's even playing the games? And if they play, who on the team is in the game? Like the COVID thing it's reared its ugly head at the weirdest time.
Yes, I mean, you were looking at teams that were completely, lined up with a firing squad in their face against a brick wall in games as recently as Tuesday night, where you're wondering who the hell are these guys? As we were saying on the show yesterday, I don't think this is what the NFL had in mind, and having games being contested under these circumstances and conditions, and yet, see, we're so crazy. You sick degenerates out there, we're so crazy. That people are sending it in no matter what. The professor, that's why. He's more in line with being, I don't know if this is fair terminology because he owns a restaurant and obviously has had a fine career in many areas, but a professional gambler. I mean, the guy gambles and he's doing so with the intent of winning, which a lot of us don't do. most degenerate behavior is fueled by a lifelong inner desire for self-sabotage, as we know. And so, you don't mind the abuse and the losing and, the financial, I don't know about ruin. I don't know that anybody's, are people out there? Yes, they do. They bet so much money because you're thinking, I can't keep losing forever. And the truth is, you can. How come Mariucci doesn't say that, Lubie? Just give it to him straight. Where he says, listen, never mind gambling responsibly. If you've been losing your whole life, there's a pretty good chance that you're going to continue to lose your whole life, and you will never get out no matter what you do. You're going to run out of capital before you can double and quadruple and cube that bet to where, you can win one game finally at the end of the streak and get out for life. It's not happening. You're not getting out for life. Nobody gets out of this thing alive.
Never.
Who's winning lifetime? Except guys who had a little bit of discipline, like the professor has, where he says, you know what?
Ken does well.
All bets are off. Hey, Ringo, take me off everything, right? You see the guy with the pork pie hat, the Asian guy at the end of the table? You can barely see his eyeballs above the table there as he rolls the dice, and you're thinking, oh, no. They're in midair, and you can see the 7 coming. And you yell at the top of your lungs, Manny, take me off. Too late. So the only thing they're taking off is all of the chips off the table. There it is, a 4, and then it bounces off a guy's fingertip. Watch your hands, Johnny. And here comes the 3. Otherwise, it would have been a hard 8, and you were going to go the other way. How many times have you come that close, too, in any kind of degenerate endeavor? So you're not as familiar with this, Lubie, because you weren't inclined necessarily to get involved in a heavy dose of wagering in your lifetime. But you've seen the behavior now, and yes, you understand it.
Yes.
All right. Very good. Here's a guy that's been involved in this behavior for a long, long time. 4-0 last week. How about some trumpets, Lubie?
Yes.
Some kind of celebratory music. He joins us here from PlaybookSports.com. Outstanding World Championship handicapper, the great Mark Lawrence, joins us here on the show. Mark, congratulations. I hope you had plenty of your own iron and the boys at Playbook Sports money. Riding on those 4 games you gave out on the show here last week. Way to go. 4-0, swept the board.
Well, thank you very much, Defo. Yeah, it was a great week. And with regard to commentary about what you were mentioning, Steve Mariucci, the NFL, and the sacrilege of everything they do about gambling, it's just an absolute farce and just a joke. And I mean, my God, wasn't a year ago or 2 or 3 years ago, they were so hypocritical about gambling, and now they're supporting gambling and they're backing sports books. My goodness. I mean, it just makes me lose sleep at night thinking about the National Football League and what it is they do to encourage gambling.
Well, and they're on the FanDuel set as Mariucci, a very likable guy. I mean, he gets up there after all 3 of their analysts have buried you with the favorite straight up, who goes down in flames. And then Mariucci gets up there, and he's got like a chalkboard. It looks like he's Vince Lombardi diagramming that play on NFL films. I want a seal over here and a seal over here. And he says the 2 words that really don't make a ton of sense together, a bit oxymoronic, but he says, gamble responsibly. But if he was telling you the truth, he'd say, hey, listen, first of all, ignore any of the selections of anybody that's on the show. And further, Mark Lawrence, I don't know if you've had this suspicion, but is it only a matter of time before a major controversy emerges, especially with the way games are being officiated in the National Football League? Is it only a matter of time before some kind of discovery is made that maybe a game or 2 wasn't on the level during this period of time, maybe years down the road?
Yeah, this is all getting very, very ugly, and it's approaching that real quickly, as you mentioned here. Not only are they encouraging wagering, but they're having people wager the games and watch very, very shady officiating going on. And it's going to lead to a revolt of sorts with sports gambling and sports wagering. And I don't know when they're going to come to their senses. I really, truly don't. I get sick watching it. We're seeing college universities now endorsing sports books. Maryland University endorsing DraftKings and things like that. I mean, what message are they sending to people out there? Just go out and gamble just aimlessly and hope for the best and connect yourself up with a loan officer. That's exactly what they ought to do. Is they ought to be followed by loan officers.
Maybe they should refund your money for the personal seat license to Giants games instead of just giving people a medium Coke. And I guess, it was a Pepsi there, but not even a large, Mark Lawrence, as a gratuity for watching this dreadful football that's been coming out of New York at the Meadowlands. The stench is no longer Newark at the Meadowlands. It's the Jets and Giants with their combined 7-21 record or whatever they are. Remember when boxers first were endorsing and they would have like in some kind of grease paint, like lamp black, written on their back, like Vinny Pazienza would come out and would say goldenpalace.com on his back as he was fighting, and everybody's like, goldenpalace.com, what the hell is that? and people thought it was absurd that this was the way that they were promoting themselves and marketing themselves by taking out advertising on the backs of famous lighter division fighters.
Yeah, and coincidentally, when they took it on the jaw and they fell to the canvas, they fell on their stomach, so the back.
That was always the big joke, that boxers would say. Maybe you ought to take out advertising on the bottom of his shoes because he's going to be looking up at the lights, before the fourth round. All right, so how are you approaching this? I mean, with the Fauci factor, Mark Lawrence of PlaybookSports.com, and how impossible does it make? I don't know. Is this an oxymoron too? Never mind gambling responsibly. Intelligent wagering. How impossible is it to figure and factor in who's playing, who's not playing in these bowl games, especially up to game time, where now you have whole teams shipping out? Now, if you had Texas A&M, do you now get Rutgers? Is it kind of like a pick six sequence in that bowl game if you already made your bet? Non-refundable?
No, that would be all. That would be all bets off as far as the A&M football game is concerned, and everything starts anew when and if they ever reschedule a bowl game. Texas A&M does, but as far as the Fauci factor is concerned in handicapping these bowl games, it's basically following what the odds maker does because he will adjust lines accordingly. And it's not just the COVID situation; it's the factors of the kids opting out to go to declare for the National Football League draft and saying they don't want to play football games and these star athletes are out. So that makes it impossible. The coaches being either fired or taking new jobs, that also adds to the mess. So like I say, every game is a snowflake all into itself. And you have to check your daily weather forecast when you're handicapping these football games because it changes constantly. And it's just something that the average person that's gambling on these games is not aware of. They should be. And if you go back to the National Football League's rule of responsible gambling, there should be a website. And I'm crusading for this because I started something like this. It's called Sports Data University to help people learn to become better gamblers, to be a better job at what it is that they do. And the National Football League and college football needs to wrap their arms around this.
Well done, man. Crusading today, Mark Lawrence here of PlaybookSports.com.
Yes, we are.
I love the way you're, firing on all cylinders going into 2022, including winning picks, which we want to get to. All right, I have a little money down. I'm not sure that any of these situations exist on the remaining bowl games that are coming up in the immediate future here today and over the weekend, or in the pro games that are on the card. But I am putting my money on Redheaded Stepchild as today's preferred theory. I don't know where we stand with that, but we're going to get into a couple of college games here. And you have to be happy, right? I mean, don't you feel like a winning day at the Kennel Club? All your dogs have been barking so far for the most part in the early bowl action, as we predicted.
Yeah, it's been terrific. In fact, that college bowl guide that we do, the Playbook Bowl Guide, has had winning sides in 9 of the 12 games played so far, which is really, really nice. And we are going to take a piece of the Redheaded Stepchild in our approach to
Get out of here, really?
Show today.
Did you just do that so I could cash?
No. You want to go out a winner, Defo,
Exactly.
before the 2021 season's over. So it is Thursday. We call this Thursday Fright Night, okay, in college football because we're going to fade 2 teams in college bowl games tonight. We're going to fade both of the favorites. And just at the very top of everything is the fact that if you go back and look at favorites on Thursdays in the college bowl games are 1-10 against the spread. They have not fared well, chalk, on Thursdays in these bowl games. The first of which happens to be the Redheaded Stepchild. We're going to play Central Florida against Florida, the big brother, the team that they've always wanted to play. Whether it would be a bowl game or a regular season game, this would be a game Central Florida would have circled in their thrilled to be able to draw Florida into the Gasparilla Bowl. I don't think people know exactly what the Gasparilla Bowl is.
It's
but
a festival in Tampa. It's a big thing, Gasparilla Festival.
Exactly right. It's a legendary pirate named Jose Gaspar who they named it after, and
nice.
That's exactly right. Well-read Defo. I like that.
No, you know what? I used to do some racing. I spent some time, a lot of time in the Tampa area there, and they always had a big day at Tampa Bay Downs for the Gasparilla Festival, which is a big thing. I had forgotten that it involved a pirate. Because I would be thinking about Lafitte Pink Eye Day at the track then, but no, and they make a big deal of it, and it's a real great occasion up there. Tampa is not a bad city. I mean, speaking of redheaded stepchildren, they have all the championships now, but still seems like a secondary destination when moving to Florida over, say, the South Florida scene that has everything that you could possibly want if you made an exodus from a big city.
Yeah, especially when you compare Gulfstream to Tampa Bay Downs, I think.
Well, I mean, believe me, it was because of a little snafu there at Gulfstream Park that we ended up in Tampa, schlepping back and forth there. But we had a good time. It's a good sports scene there, and that Gasparilla Festival is great. And it's amazing because I really just threw that out of nowhere, the redheaded stepchild thing. But you're exactly right, Mark Lawrence.
Nice.
UCF is the ultimate redheaded stepchild, especially when it comes to playing Florida in the state.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. And what better place to hold it? What better venue than in Tampa? Where both of the schools neighbor, if you will. Between Orlando themselves and Gainesville. So a great site, Gasparilla Bowl for this. Central Florida comes into this football game. They also have, I think, an added edge. And Gus Malzahn, their head coach, used to coach in the Southeast Conference in his days at Auburn. So he knows this Florida program real well. And truth be known, Florida has just been absolutely tanked since Dan Mullen, since they gave him his walking papers. They've lost the money 5 straight line games in a row, have the Florida Gators. They're number 121 in the country in net turnovers. Jesus. They don't play any sort of disciplined football there, and that's the reason they have a new head coach coming into Florida these days. I think Central Florida, this is their game of the year. We'll make them the first of our 2 plays on our what we call the Thursday Fright Night College Bowl card.
A little redheaded stepchild thrown in there. Fantastic, Mark Lawrence. And I appreciate you working that in so I could cash there. That was kind of like when we had a bet on, due to our, and courtesy of our friend Footy DJ, on Katy Perry singing Roar as her first song at the halftime show. Right, where you're like, that's some serious inside information here, using a redheaded stepchild with UCF. All right, that's one game in the books. Let's hope that brings you to 5-0 in the last picks that you made here on the show. And what else do you have for us on the college front there, Mark Lawrence?
Well, we're going to go also on tonight's card in the Frisco Classic Bowl, not to be confused with the Frisco Bowl. This is the Frisco Classic Bowl. 2 games in Frisco, Texas this year, and the second one plays tonight here. North Texas takes on Miami of Ohio. And we don't need to know a whole lot about handicapping other than the fact that there is a MAC team involved in a bowl game. And this MAC team, Miami of Ohio, is favored in a bowl game. And that's just been a recipe for disaster, if you will. If you look at the MAC teams this year, they've been in 4 bowl games so far. They've lost all 4 of the bowl games, allowed an average of 46.5 points a game. They're completely outclassed, these MAC teams in bowl games, especially thus far this year. And when you open up the history book and you look at the MAC teams in bowl games and you dress them up as favorites, the last 4 times they've gone out, they've lost all 4 games straight up and against the spread. They're just not capable of laying points in bowl games. Then you bring in North Texas here to the game tonight, taking 3 points. This is a team that, like a racehorse, got off to a real slow start in its career. This season, they were just 1-6 to begin the year, but they closed like a freight train. They were 5-0 straight up into the spread, their final 5 games, North Texas. The team playing with all the momentum here, taking the 3 points. We got to play North Texas in the Frisco Classic Bowl for play number 2 tonight.
All right, sounds good. So no surprise there. Mark Lawrence, PlaybookSports.com, 2 underdogs. And hopefully a continuing trend in the bowl games, which everybody was on this one. They were all, they must be, did you take on like Joel Osteen, like degenerate congregation, Mark Lawrence, and preach to them, bet the dogs once again, and the value and the closeness that you can get to, degenerate gods by taking all the dogs in the bowl games. So far, you're sitting there at 9-3 against the point spread, which is a nice percentage. You'll take that every time. All right, the pros also, very impossible lately to figure out what the hell is going on out there, as they used to say. But what do you think? What are your picks in the pros on the pro card this week?
Well, we're going to stay focused on what it is that we do. And this time of the year, we're coming to the stretch run. So you're going to rely on what's got you to the dance. We're going to play a pair of 4x4 running dogs this week. Two teams that run the ball for 4 yards a carry. They're division dogs, and they're taking on opponents that allow 4 yards a carry. We love these 4x4 dogs, and we've got two of them on tap this week, and both are winning teams and both playing with same season revenge. Yes. So we've got a really, really nice recipe for these two teams here this weekend. First is going to be Buffalo taking 3 points at New England on Sunday. And Buffalo comes in here. They run it 4.8 a carry, 4.8 yards a carry. New England coughs it up 4.6 yards a carry, so we check that box. And in New England, we come in here, they beat Buffalo 14-10 just 2 weeks ago in Buffalo. And in that game, the Bills allowed New England a season low 241 yards of offense. So this Buffalo defense, which, by the way, ranks number 1 overall in the National Football League, has this big revenge chip on its shoulder in this game on Sunday. Buffalo wins this game. Buffalo wins out. They control their own destiny. I like the Bills to upend New England. New England had that win streak snap, guys, at 7 wins in a row. And oftentimes, more often than not, when a team is on a streak and they lose or they win, they go the opposite way. They continue on that path. It's called returning to the norm. And that's exactly where New England will. They'll return to the norm Sunday. We'll play Buffalo plus the 3.
That's the first of the 4x4 running dogs, which was a theory that you introduced, I believe, on last week's show when you went 4x4, as you went 4 for 4 and had like a Pete Rose type of night. He's going to head for the cycle, this Lawrence. All right, what do we wind up with here? Your second pick in the pros, Mark Lawrence, playbooksports.com.
The other guy's going to be the Denver Broncos. They're taking a point at Vegas against the Raiders here. And, they come in, they carry it 4.5. Vegas gives it up 4.3. Vegas went into Denver and beat Denver earlier this year, 34-24. And in that game, Denver gained a season-high 421 yards on the Vegas defense. Now you have Vegas coming in off that makeshift makeup game against the Cleveland Browns on Monday, going home here against the Denver Bronco football team, whose back is to the playoff wall. We've got to put the 4x4 revenging dog in play in this game as well. So we'll saddle up with the Denver Broncos for play number 2.
Overs and unders, have they been, it seemed to me, the other night you had a couple of low-scoring games. Have you noticed anything there in particular, one way or the other, overs and unders, with this whole new bout with COVID taking place, impacting so many games, and you got backup quarterbacks in there? What do you see there, Mark Lawrence?
Well, last week was hands down the number 1 week for unders in the National Football League this year. It had been a season of overs all season long, high-scoring football games, week after week after week. People kept coming to the table last Sunday with both fists, betting these football games over the total, and they got creamed last week.
Wow. There's always that week, right, where they pull the tablecloth out and all the dishes stay in place? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly right. Every dish stayed in place last week, and it was a bevy of unders last week. So, if you're looking for patterns, it's kind of hard to maybe anticipate that way in the National Football League. But I'll say this: when you come down to a stretch in the National Football League, and all these games are on the line, I've never seen so many teams that are so involved and still mathematically alive for the playoffs as you do right now at this stage of the season here. Unders become prevalent because these games are played at playoff-like atmospheric conditions and games. So you'll see a lot more defense in football games like this. So that's, a little bit of a surprise to me that many games went under, but no surprise at all that it's more under plays from this point out in the National Football League than overs.
That's kind of great stuff you get on the over-under tip sheet that Mark Lawrence puts out with his staff there, fine staff at playbooksports.com. Nobody comes up with numerology like Mark Lawrence. It's just absolutely fantastic. You've been doing this for a long time. How can people get more information and, get on the regular stream of great information that you put out all the time when it comes to handicapping and having guidance in wagering intelligently?
Well, you want to do that. First thing you want to do is put that college bowl guide in your hand for the bowl games. We got 30 more bowl games to play here.
Great piece of work.
Yes, it's very nice. It's very, very nice job that the crew put together here in that guide. Everybody worked overnight, burning the midnight oil doing that. It's all available, playbooksports.com, the College Bowl Guide, our weekly newsletter, our midweek alert statistical newsletter, and as you mentioned, the over-under totals tip sheet, the only over-under totals tip sheet in the country. Check it out all online, playbooksports.com.
Terrific stuff, Mark Lawrence. Congratulations once again, 4-0 last week here on the program against the spread, all underdogs. And once again, as we always say, no surprise, Mark Lawrence going with 4 live dogs that he likes this week, 2 in the colleges and 2 in the pros. Mark, you have the merriest of Christmases, hopefully a very profitable one. And we'll talk to you again next week and into the new year. And thanks so much for all you've done for us here on all of our Degenerate Friday shows and coming in early this week as we get to, wrap things up for a little vacation ourselves. But thanks so much. Just fantastic stuff. The people all love you, including that bail bondsman and the public defender over at the Broward County Courthouse, who can't go without your selections every week. Thanks so much for being with us. The best to you and yours and all of the great staff there at Playbook Sports.
Hey, Merry Christmas to you and Lubie as well, Defo. You guys have a great, great holiday. I hope Santa's good to you guys and also the football games as well. Take care.
Right. Happy New Year, Merry Christmas.
Do you feel like you're peering off the high board sometimes when you're playing live underdogs, Lubie, or do you get the sense that all of a sudden you're Greg Louganis? How do you feel? I mean, do you gamble like a nebbish? That should be one of my pamphlets that I put out for degenerates out there. Do you gamble like a nebbish? Because I felt that I do at many, many times. The only times I've ever done well is when I just shucked everything there is about myself. I mean, this is something to consider, people, as we go into the new year. Maybe it's time to make some changes, huh?
Oh, well, that's every year.
Every year, yeah.
That's at the end of every year.
But towards letting go. I mean, just let it all go. And do what you can do. Go out there. Don't be afraid. Don't gamble like a nebbish. Never mind gambling responsibly. Don't gamble like a fool. That's what Mariucci should be saying.
Exactly.
Oh, I don't know about these guys. I'm getting 3 points. I mean, that would be the other end of it, right? It's the guy that's given the 3 points that feels like a nebbish.
Yes.
And I mean, do you take bold chances?
Yeah.
Are you scared off by like 30-1 at the track? The Greek had that swashbuckling, our good friend the Greek from our radio days, who we need to get in touch with and get involved here with Ion Channel. I've been thinking about trying to put that together. But the Greek is one of those guys. I don't know if you people have people like this in your life where, all intentions are good. And you say, hey, I'll see you Sunday. And then you never talk to each other again. And the day passes.
That's life.
I thought we were supposed to get together last week. Didn't happen. How about next week? Yeah, I'm free. That's the way it goes. All right, Hialeah Park. We can't thank them enough. Don't forget to check the calendar of events there, and we'll be on hand for the boxing that's taking place there. Frankie already it's mind-boggling, the man's preparation. Every single detail, man, this guy takes care of it, and it's fantastic. And they're very meticulous about everything they do at Hialeah Park in terms of giving you the greatest entertainment experience and value for your entertainment dollar that you can find. And they really are terrific at that. The appointments and the way they've arranged the champion simulcasting room, everybody that plays poker. NASCAR Roger, right? Big fan down there.
Yep.
I mean, it doesn't matter where he's coming from. It's worth it to go to Hialeah Park. And, of course, the casino, you see jackpots being won all the time. Steve Calabro, best smile in all of the gaming industry. And it's a dual happiness. He feels good that the place is doing well, and he feels even better that the patrons are coming in there and having a great time because they feel like they're in there with a shot. It's not like a straight-up graveyard like it is at some of the casinos. I don't want to mention any particular ones around town, but the place that is nearest to my house, unfortunately, has not been overwhelmingly beneficial over the years when you get down to the machines. You got to find out one machine, I guess. Not at Hialeah, man. Royal Reels are spinning, and you can just absolutely make a score right now at Hialeah Park. You're going to score big. Also, if you get there for New Year's Eve, check that out, HialeahPark.com for reservations and make your plans to be there. Lubie, you have the merriest of Christmas Eves and Christmas days.
You as well, sir.
We'll have some special programming coming up and some new stuff coming up next week here on the show on Ion Channel. Great being with the Ion Channel people. Merry Christmas to Jack Namer and the lovely Amy and Brad and all the people that we met at Ion Channel. Thanks so much for getting involved with us, and we're very happy to be involved with you. And we will see you guys tomorrow at 7 in the a.m., our next edition of the Defo Show. I'm Jeff Deforrest. He's Mike Lubitz on ionchannel.com. See you tomorrow. Now that.
The time.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, whatever.
Let's go to eat a damn snack.
Look what they done to my show.